question. How old were you when you realized that wolves don't actually howl at the moon? For me, today, totally ruined my childhood. And I hope I just did the same for some of y'all. Good. Listen, this next video is the largest wolf pack ever recorded. And what are they hunting? Let's check it out.
This wolf-lit, bloodthirsty alpha.
They circle the herd, trying to unsettle it and split it up. But the bison are armed and dangerous. They will be safe as long as they stick together.
And it really makes you wonder, what were they even hunting? Well, get ready to find out, as I'm about to reveal everything about the largest wolf pack ever recorded. Number 1, Siberian super pack. Before I tell you about this super pack, did you know an average pack only has about 6 to 7 wolves? This animal rarely hunts in big numbers, as the largest packs ever recorded were usually just groups of 12, or max 15 wolves. But all that changed when locals saw a real-life nightmare, the super pack, 400 wolves, all following one alpha.
A super pack is when more than 2 packs join together and move as a unit.
This pack was so large and vicious that it destroyed entire towns and ecosystems. 16,000 reindeers, 600 horses, and 6 humans. You heard that right? This pack was a man-eating group of wild wolves that spared nothing or no one in their path. But
bro, what are you doing if you walk up and encounter 400, a pack of 400 wolves? Bro, I'm just gonna lay down right there and just go to sleep, man. Hopefully that I just don't feel it when they do whatever it is they're gonna do to me. I just hope I don't feel it, bro. I'm just lay down and go to sleep.
that's just one side of the story. How does one alpha even control 400 devil hunts? Well, it certainly helps when the alpha is one of the most ruthless wolves to ever walk Earth. Absolutely zero disobedience. That's the policy.
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
Any wolf caught defying orders or challenging the alpha was ripped to shreds, ensuring order in the pack. The terror of this super pack lasted for several years before it just ceased to exist, or either went into hiding.
Wolves are highly intelligent and can sense the danger, even beneath the snow.
The brain size of a wolf is larger than that of the domestic dog of equal size. So they are very intelligent and patient about what they do.
Maybe the alpha passed, and no other wolf was strong enough to control such a large pack. But either way, it was a horror for locals and villagers who were constantly on the lookout for a pack so big that it would cover the entire horizon. I mean, just imagine hearing 400 destructive wolves ambush an entire town at night. Terrifying. Number 2, the alpha. If you ever wanted to get an idea of a wolf's true strength, this is the best clip out there. There are at least 100 caribous fleeing from the alpha. That's how ferocious and feared these beasts are in the wild. It's just breathtaking to see how a single wolf can hunt like that. Oh, and this is the reason why lone wolves are so popular. But yeah, back to the clip.
Caribou are a big prize for a pack with pups to feed. But weighing up to twice that of an adult wolf, they are dangerous. This lone wolf has no choice. It desperately needs to feed.
It's an intense chase as the wolf controls the movement of the entire herd before finally latching onto an unfortunate caribou. And here's an interesting fact. The wolf was actually prolonging the chase here. It wanted to single out the injured or weaker animals in the herd before launching an attack. Number 4, dire wolves. Wasn't this animal supposed to be extinct? Just wait until it gets up. That's a dire wolf right there. It's like it was purposely on all fours, luring that oblivious dog closer. I mean, this thing is so massive that I nearly thought it was a bear at first glance. This has to be one of the, if not the biggest wolf I've ever seen. But wait, there's more. Look at this second one.
This is why I tip my hat to anyone who goes hiking. I tip my hat to y'all, bro. Y'all are some of the most bravest people in the world. What are you doing if you see that? The way he ran at that dog, what if he came at you like that? No, bro, no, I'm laying down and going to sleep. I keep telling y'all that.
Another dire wolf, and this might be a bit far-fetched, but just take a look at its movement. They seem so human. Number 5, some compassion. Number 6, exceptional endurance. What a sight. It's not every day you get to see a stunning black wolf sprinting down the highway at a crazy speed. I sure hope there isn't an exhausted biker up ahead. But anyway, while wolves usually trot at around 5 miles per hour, did you know they can run as fast as 40 miles per hour? Yep. What's more interesting?
So there goes our chance of outrunning it. I mean, if we ever thought, like, have you clocked yourself on a treadmill? You ain't going nowhere near 40, bro. Like, lay down and go to sleep.
Interesting is how they can keep at this pace for extended periods of time, showing some of the most exceptional endurance in the entire animal kingdom. Believe it or not, most wolf packs actually travel over 30 miles in a single day. Number 7, wild Yukon timber wolf. I don't think a lot of people know this, but there are at least 40 different subspecies of wolves. And the one on your screen right now is none other than the super rare wild Yukon timber wolf. Just look at the paws of this bad boy. No wonder it's one of the most feared wolves on the planet. And don't let the footage fool you. This thing is massive, easily spanning 6 to 7 feet in length. Number 8, Arctic wolf versus baby caribou. Since we're on the topic of endurance, nothing beats a caribou. These beautiful creatures are like marathon runners.
They're setting off on the greatest overland trek made by any animal.
And sometimes, even the toughest of wolves aren't able to keep up. Like this one here, we have ourselves a lone Arctic wolf trying to chase down a baby caribou.
The wolf runs at the herd, trying to flush out the weak or the slow.
While the caribou manages to escape the wolf, there's one really interesting thing at play here. The wolf's hunting technique. Unless it's a pack, wolves never go for an adult. They always go for the old, sick, or youngling. But yeah, if we're talking about stamina, nothing beats the breathtaking caribou. Number 9, a howling wolf. You're going to want to hear this, folks. Imagine hiking at night and all of a sudden, you hear this. A chilling howl is enough to send shivers down your spine. It's a gray wolf, and here's a cool fact. I bet you never knew about this species. Gray wolves are crucial for population control. Unless it's a pack of 400, gray wolves maintain balance in an ecosystem by ridding sick and old animals. Number 10, fight for dominance. Size rarely matters in the animal kingdom. It's all about attitude. I'm sure I don't even have to tell you who's the alpha. It's already super obvious. But don't worry, this isn't an actual fight. It's just a display of dominance. The alpha is letting all the other wolves know who's boss. Also, notice how all the other wolves instantly go down on their back. They're letting him know they're not a threat. Such fascinating behavior. Number 11, fighting off an intruder. It's about to get intense. What happens when an intruder tries to enter the pack? Everyone teams up to take him on. But there's actually something else going on here. I'm no expert, but I did my research. If that was an actual intruder, the pack would have ripped him apart. It's probably an exiled member or a wolf that tried to challenge the alpha and failed. And that's when it happened. The intruder dashes for the den in the hopes to catch a pup or two. But there's no way that's going to work. The pack snags him out of the den, fatally injuring him as he runs off unsuccessful.
See, these are the parts of the Wolfpack that I respect, bro. How they take care of their own. You know what I mean? The alpha out of all of them makes sure everybody eats and looks out and alerts and is the watcher, and like that's pretty much human nature as well, isn't it? I would think so. You gotta respect it, at least some aspect of it, until you encounter one. Then it's different.
Number 12, lone wolf battles. 4 coyote. Compared to a lion or tiger, wolves aren't exactly that big. Let's talk about a lion, for example. An adult lion is at least 10 feet long. An average wolf is about half of that. But when it comes to switching between attack and defense, there's not a single 4-legged beast as good as the wolf. Check out how this lone wolf battles 4 coyote, keeping all of them at bay. But at the end of the day, this wolf is just getting a taste of his own medicine. And the reason I say that is because wolves do the exact same thing to bears. Doesn't feel too good when the tables are turned, does it, Mr. Alpha? Number 13, size difference. This is a really cool clip. It shows us the size difference between grown coyotes and a wolf. First, we see 2 coyotes, which, to be honest, aren't exactly that small either. I mean, I sure as heck wouldn't want to run into one. And then there's the big bad wolf. Just look at the comparison and how the wolf towers these coyotes. And this footage really makes you appreciate that lone wolf battling 4 of them. The fact that it got out uninjured is incredible. Number 14, 1, in the wrong neighborhood. This coyote chose the wrong neighborhood. After getting spotted snacking on the pack's food, the coyote dashed for its life, being chased by at least a dozen wolves. And had it been a lone wolf, this coyote might have had a chance. But this is an entire pack we're talking about. Watch how the hunting tactics come into play as the wolves slowly cave in to the poor creature. It ends badly for the coyote as he's ripped to shreds by the entire pack. Here's a little backstory though. This pack is actually invasive, meaning it didn't initially belong to this territory. There was a pack here before them, and believe it or not, the pack and coyotes actually lived in harmony, never hunting one another. Maybe that's why this coyote went in so carefree. Number 15, dark secret. If you live near the woods, never leave your dog out, even if it's a German Shepherd. That dog must have been panting hard, and even though that wolf seems all playful, there's a dark secret behind this behavior. The wolf is actually trying to befriend the dog and lure it into the wood, where an entire pack is waiting for a quick snack. That's terrifying. Number 16, Alpha versus Omega. Here's an actual footage that shows what it means to be an Omega in a wolf pack. And while you watch the Alpha scare this Omega into submission, let me quickly explain it to those of you who don't know. Get him. So, you know how the Alpha is the highest ranking member in the pack? Well, the Omega is the lowest ranking, and in this clip, we can see the Alpha asserting dominance to ensure discipline and order in the pack. But don't worry, you can't get away with this behavior all the time. The pack often rewards the Omega graciously for its obedience. Number 17, White Arc.
But even before that, go back to where they talked about how he tried to lure the dog in. You know what's scary about that? Think about how many of us back in the day, like, you don't see it as much anymore, but back in the day, how people used to like chain their dogs to a tree near like a dog house. So your dog didn't get away, but you had it chained to like a tree. This was like something you saw a lot as a kid or early on growing up. And it wasn't outside of the norm for most people who didn't keep their dogs inside their home. But imagine your dog being on that chain and wolves coming around and he cannot escape it. How many people you think actually even thought about that? That's wow. Wow.
Wolf. Absolutely crazy how you can domesticate these wild creatures. And remember how I was repeatedly reminding you how massive wolves can grow? Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A human standing beside an adult wolf. This beautiful animal towers over this puny human in all aspects. And I don't know why, but I'm thinking of that super pack we discussed at the start of this video. Imagine 400 of these running through the neighborhood, devouring everything in their path. Horrifying. Number 18, harassing a grizzly. Remember how I was telling you about how wolves harass bears? Well, this is what I meant. The bear acts all big and strong as there's only about 2 or 3 wolves in the distance. He's confident he can take them on, but wait a second. Why did this massive grizzly stop all of a sudden? Oh yeah, no wonder. I think he saw the dozen other wolves closing in as well, and that's when it starts.
Oh, okay. They're both. What are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Look at that.
Oh my
they're around them. They're both.
Bear had to get up on his legs and like, oh snap. All right, bro. He like, whoa.
Look at them. Oh,
what
God.
are they doing to him?
They're fighting.
Get out of here. This is our territory.
Oh, my.
These wolves tease and harass the bear for several minutes as he tries to somehow escape into the wood. But it's interesting how neither side really tries attacking the other. I think both the wolf and bear knew things could get ugly real fast. Number 19, Clever Boy. Don't feel sad for these herd dogs. They're doing what they've been trained to do by nature, protecting livestock. And while they're usually pretty good at what they do, sometimes they end up running into a beast, like this black wolf here. The scuffle doesn't last long as we have ourselves an extremely clever wolf. Instead of fighting off all the dogs, he does the next best thing. He takes out the alphas, the group retreats in defeat. And you gotta realize, the dogs are just there to protect. The wolf literally fights for survival every single day. There are levels to this game, and the wolf is on top. Number 20, a not so gentle warning. The rivalry between bears and wolves will probably go on forever. And that's mainly because it's a numbers game. I guess it's not their day to day, as one grown bear is enough to take on at least 3 or even 4 adult wolves. They're critters in front of this massive bear, and all it takes is one bite to send them packing. But yeah, wolves are smart, and they will remember this bear for a long time. They're probably already planning how they're going to harass him when the packs are around. Number 21. The chase is on. Check out this amateur footage of a wolf chasing a deer. And want to know the sad part about it? That wolf isn't going to attack until the deer drops dead. That's the endurance factor I was talking. It won't have to make any effort at all, as the deer will simply tire itself, turning into an easy kill. And you know how the saying goes, deer can run fast, but they can't run far. Wolves, on the other hand, these beasts can trot, run, and hunt for days. Number 22. To be continued. What's the difference between the wolves and the rabbit? Well, in simple words, the wolves are running because they're hungry, and the rabbit, it's running because it doesn't want to die. But this is some god-level stamina right here. These wolves just don't give up. I bet that's why there's such a feared predator in the animal kingdom. And this is just a rabbit. Did you know there are real stories of wolves actually stalking hikers for days? Yape. Just imagine a wolf watching your every move for days. It reminds me of Liam Neeson's The Grey. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you give it a watch. It's an awesome movie that gives you some real insights about how wolves behave in the wild. Number 23. Not your everyday traffic stop. This probably had to be the most eventful and horrifying traffic stop ever. Just imagine what this cop must have felt when he saw a pack of wolves running towards him. And notice how he quickly gets into the car before the pack arrives.
I was thinking the same thing. Nah, hey, you gonna let me in your car, bro. You are not gonna leave me out here with these wolves. No, let me in. He got right in the back seat. I'd have did the same thing. I don't care who was in that car.
That's probably the smartest thing he did. But it's really interesting how these creatures aren't afraid of making random appearances. They were probably in a playful mood though, because trust me, if they wanted an ambush, they would have gotten just that. Number 24. Thank the Alpha. This footage is more than just a bunch of wolves running. It's a lesson for what it means to be the leader of the pack. That track they're running in only exists because the leader of the pack. The Alpha threaded through the snow and cleared it out so the rest of the pack could follow. Number 25. Playing the long game. I know what you're thinking right now. What's this wolf even doing? It can't even chase down a baby pronghorn. But are you already forgetting what I've been telling you about their hunting behaviors? It's all about the long game here. That wolf doesn't want to kill this pronghorn. It wants to tire it out so it can enjoy the easiest meal of its life.
Oh wait, there he goes. I'm all trying to protect the baby. Dang, that baby's fast.
Because trust me, if it wanted to chase down and slaughter this calf, it would have been nothing but a piece of cake. But it's really amazing to see the wolf just make this baby run in circles over and over again because, in a way, it's actually controlling the chase. Number 26. Maned wolf. What if I told you this creature is neither a lion nor a dog? It's actually one of the largest canines in the world. And here's something even cooler. You probably thought this creature was big and bulky like a gray wolf, but that's not the case. At its peak, a grown adult only weighs 25 kilos. You heard that right, 25 kilos. Number 27. Wolf or husky. People often assume huskies are domesticated wolves, but that's not true. They're very different from each other. In fact, they share nothing in terms of species or gene. But isn't it scary how a gray wolf looks exactly like a husky? I mean, just imagine if the driver had stopped thinking this thing was a dog. And that makes me wonder, was this some sort of a hunting tactic? Was the wolf acting all playful on purpose to get the driver to stop? Number 28. Wolfpack in action. Forget about all those lone wolves. It's time to witness a wolf pack in action. Just watch and observe, folk. These wolves are acting more like shepherds as they try to single out a weak link in the herd. And that's when they spot it, an old buffalo slowing down the herd. And even though it seems like these wolves aren't equipped to take on such a massive animal, this has been happening for thousands of years now. The pack knows all the tricks in the book to take down this buffalo, but I bet none of them were expecting to get stomped on by an 800-pound animal. That wolf looks shaken, but it's a bit too late now as this poor buffalo has been singled out and will soon be a nice meal for the pack. Number 29. Excellent swimmers. Here's something else I bet you never knew about wolves. They're excellent swimmers. And this wolf right here is named Storm. He was followed for several years as researchers studied him to observe how these beautiful animals behave in the wild. And I'll be honest, I never really thought wolves would be such good swimmers. But an empty stomach and no food for days turns this animal into a killing machine. Watch as it effortlessly crosses the stream, catching up to the buffaloes and ultimately securing a lovely meal. And before you start calling out the buffalo for being a bad mother, the calf was already injured to start with. It would have eventually died, so abandoning it to throw off the wolf was the only thing that could be done. Number 30. Coolest brothers ever. Meet Zephyr and Nikai, two captive Canadian gray wolf brothers at the Wolf Conservation Center. Just imagine if these two wolves had been in the wild. They would have been a destructive duo. But yeah, despite all the killing and brutalness, wolves are so glorious, and it's so much cooler how they both have different colored fur. Number 30.
You know what looking at those wolves remind me of? Like huskies. Aren't huskies descendants of wolves? Excuse me for my ignorance, so I don't know, but I always just see them as I'm scrolling down Instagram because huskies are so funny to me. The way they just hilarious to me, but I always think about that.
1. McKenzie Wolves. Isn't this a bit too close for comfort? Why are these wolves so cool being around a gigantic bear? Well, I think it helps when you're a McKenzie, or, in simple words, the biggest wolf in the world. It's like a bigger, better, deadlier version of the gray wolf. It's death dressed in gray. This thing can grow up to 7 feet long, with just 3 or 4 wolves enough to take down buffaloes, elks, and bears. And unlike all the other species, these creatures are the definition of endurance, being able to travel distances up to 70 miles per day. Number 32. A pet wolf. I'm jealous. This guy has a wolf as a pet. I wonder how he trained it. My guess is he probably rescued it when it was a young cub, because ain't no way a wolf of that size is gonna be so gentle to a human. But I'm just blown away by the wolf's head. It's humongous. Just imagine the mouthpiece on this bad boy. Nevertheless, this is very rare. You'll never see a wolf performing in the circus because these things are born killers. Taming it has to be one of the most difficult things on the planet, because if it were possible, humans would have probably domesticated them by now. Number
He didn't tame that wolf though. And what has the narrator been saying the whole video? They play the long game. They play the long game. So the day he is at his point to where he thinks, okay, now I'm cashing in my chips on this human I got that I know I can get at any moment, it's wraps. It's over for that human. They play the long game. No.
33. Man versus wolf. I think it's the perfect time to slip in a tutorial for what to do if you ever encounter a wolf out in the wild. Notice how the man is standing tall and making loud noises. Well, he probably got lucky considering that's not the best thing to do. And see how he grabs a stick to ward off the wild animal? Smart, right? Nope. Plus, this isn't even a pack. It's just one wolf. If it were a pack, this footage would have probably never made it out. So, what should you do if you ever face a wolf? Simple. Pray. That's the best advice I can give you because, like I said countless times before, these animals are born killers. Number 34. Lucky dog. You know, the more I watch these wolves, the more obvious it becomes that they're just big bad bullies. Look at how these wolves are toying with this poor doggo. I bet he's so frightened, right? They even bit him a couple of times, but it's clear they're just playing around. But the dog also deserves some credit. Despite being chased down by 3 massive wolves, he still pulled off a brilliant maneuver, hopping through the fence to make it to safety. They don't really see the dog as a threat, but they sure don't want him in their territory. Number 35. Ethiopian wolf in action. Isn't this a jackal? Not only does it look like a jackal, but it also moves like one as well. But would you be surprised if I told you the Ethiopian wolf is more closely related to the gray wolf than it is to jackals? Shocking, right? But check out this clip. It's like poetry in motion. This little rat has no idea what's about to hit him. And it's just fascinating how an animal about 10 times bigger than the rat can get so close without alerting it. I mean, this thing could probably catch a fly if it wanted to. But yeah, this is the ultimate art of stalking your prey. Now, imagine if it were stalking a human. Sounds like a piece of cake, right? Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. So, what do you think? Did you know wolves were such smart and brutal hunters?